Hi, it's Double975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Legacy version on Xbox. Now, an odd occurrence happened the other day. It happens semi-regularly. Somebody come down to where I was mining to challenge me to a fight. This is always a bit of a weird one because the mining spot I choose is a bit awkward. It's a long way out of the bubble and the planet I mine at is a long way from the star. It's about 140,000 light seconds. So when people go into that system, they generally don't bother making the trip to my carrier. This gentleman challenged me to a fight, and I came out and gave him a fight. The first fight we had was in mediums, and then the second time he wanted a rematch, and I had to travel a long distance from my carrier to have the rematch, which precluded me taking virtually any of my combat ships. So I came down here in my Cobra Mark III and had a bit of fun fighting against his crate. I didn't think I was going to win this one because he... had I known he was going to load up full of shield cell banks, I probably would have chosen a different ship. But it was quite funny because it was literally like the fight in mediums wasn't particularly fun to have, and this fight went on for like 25 minutes, which is longer than a lot of my big ship fights go on for. I'm not going to bring you all of this fight because it is basically me just orbiting with lasers while he does spikes damage with the rail guns, and as you can see, he's got Scramble Spectrum on there, which is a bit of a pain for a shieldless ship. But between Scramble Spectrum and while I'm stationary Scramble Spectrum, the odd railgun hit, this fight, was going to be tough on a small shieldless Cobra versus the much bigger ship. And he loaded up on shield cell banks, which is not great for me. Plus the recharge rate of that ship anyway is pretty decent. So this was always going to be a tough fight. But I'm going to skip back to the fight I had with him in a medium ship and then come back to the end of this fight at the end. I'm always happy to rock out. If you want to challenge me to a fight, it's easy enough, just message me. If I'm on, I'll come down and fight. If I'm not about, I'll tell you when I'm probably going to be on or when I can accept the challenge. I do work a lot of weird shifts, and I do work quite a lot at the moment. I am cramming in some overtime while I can, and so, if you're trying to catch me in game, it's not the easiest. I'm on at weird times. I'm on weird days. I play a lot more in the week than I do at weekends because I work every weekend at the moment. So, it's all a bit crazy. And so this was the fight we had in mediums. And then, like I say, when he challenged me again, he'd disappeared off quite far away. He'd gone to one of the engineer sites. So I wasn't going to drag one of my combat ships over there because I'd have had to jump my carrier, and it would have been a really long journey. But unfortunately for him, he really picked the wrong... I don't think he had banks this time, or if he did, he didn't get any of them off. And you can't let me be plasma ramming you in one of my builds. It's probably not going to go well for you. And this is a ramming ship because it's one of mine. So it's obviously, I do tend to make ramming ships. It's kind of a thing, and if you let me ram you, it's not going to go well for you. The best thing to do when fighting me is avoid the rams most of the time. There are a couple of my ships that can't ram that well. I think Devo's Cobra outrams my Cobra Mark III, which is odd, but I gotta think that's because I've got a larger interdictor in there than Devo. I don't know, because oddly, I might have bigger module reinforcement on a larger interdictor. I honestly don't know, because I thought my Cobra was pretty heavily armoured, and Devo's is just slightly more heavily armoured, which is hilarious because it's the one ram battle that I actually lose is my Cobra Mark III versus Devo's Mark III. But on the whole, I'm pretty consistently happy with my ability to ram my opponents into oblivion. It's, because let's face it, I'm such a bad shot with Plasmax. I'm a bad pilot. I don't flight assist off as much as I should do. I can't, I know the term vector matching, and I know a little bit about vector matching, but it's not something that, I'm going to worry about too much. I have a very basic style of combat, and oddly enough, my two styles of combat is just straight up ram you or just straight up orbit you, and that's it. That's my two strategies. So once people learn how to counter those two strategies, I'm kind of screwed because I'm not learning any new tricks at this age. But on the whole, my basic simple combat style has actually stood me in really good stead, and over the years I've competed against some of the better PvP pilots on the Xbox version of the game, and some of the very best PvP pilots across all platforms, the likes of Walking Dead, Flipper Gold, you know, and I lose. I will always lose to guys that are really good, but I do at least, you know, survive long enough to not embarrass myself. I do output a decent amount of damage, and against most of the PvPers on Xbox that have been there through the years, I can hold my own with a lot of people and compete against a lot of people that are much better than me. You know, I have a ridiculous amount of player kills thanks to the wars that I've been in and some of the dirty, cheesy tactics that I'm willing to employ. You know, I've killed some of the best commanders in this game through horrible ship builds, phasing and ramming, and I'm fine with that. But as you can see, yeah, the fight in mediums did not kind of go well, but the second go round with me in a small versus his medium, and the fact he improved his build with some banks, actually lasted a ridiculous amount of time and was a jolly good laugh. So GG to this commander, and like I say, if you want me to come out and fight you, it's really simple. Just message me and say, oh, do you fancy having a fight sometime? You know, and if you don't want it to be to the death, just say, because I'm always happy to fight to a percentage of hull. I gain nothing through killing people like in this game, and it doesn't change anything, so it's just fun. You know, it's who wins the fight, GG, and that's it. You know, I'm not, that's why I don't really care like if I kill people or not. I don't keep track of how many players or people I've killed in this game. I don't have that TOC system of like asking for FDev for a count of players I've killed. I would guess my count is probably quite low because I don't generally kill a lot of players. I fight a lot of people, but I don't. I'm the person that will stop shooting to let Scooby or Al get the kill because I don't want the notoriety. So I don't get that many kills. And yeah, my Cobra, well, I bit off more than I can chew because that Scramble Spectrum, the combination of Scramble Spectrum and Railguns did eventually yeet my ship badly. I think I mean, I've got to say, I didn't perform too badly. I got through his banks, I managed to do some hull damage to him. But yeah, the Scramble Spectrum is what really hurt me. I've got to say, that was the thing that was like, just made the fight unfun at times. But it was a fun fight in a lot of ways. It was nice, and I should have come over in a medium. I should have jumped my carrier over and given him a go with my Ramble or something like that. But you know, I'm glad actually in a way that I, you know, used the Cobra because it could jump over here. Because it just made for a fun, silly fight, and it lasted a decent amount of time and was a good test for his build. I mean, you know, it's not the strongest ship in the world, my Cobra Mark III, but if you can survive against my Cobra Mark III, you've probably built an okay ship. Just yeah, I recommend you avoid ramming things that weigh as much as my ships do, you know, in future. But yeah, GG, it was all good fun. It was 2 fun fights on a night where I thought I would just be peacefully mining in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and let me know in the comments down below if you want to fight me sometime. Let's say, it amazes me how many people do want to fight me, considering how boring I am when it comes to my piloting style. Anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching.